I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
No soup for you.
Don't touch that dial. Adjust those bunny ears, because what time is it, Jay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I seem to be speechless. Oh,
Segue alert.
It's time for Sitcom My Face. I'm Jay, that's Nick, and I think I just kind of told you what we're talking about this episode, sir.
Yes, you did. Yes, with the ABC sitcom Speechless lasted for 3 seasons. It's a pretty recent sitcom as well. Ended in 2019.
Yeah, 63 episodes over on ABC. I feel like we just played around with some ABC show last week, didn't we?
Yeah, what's happening?
Not much. What's happening with you? So, my friend, first I want to ask you, and you already told me, so I'm pretending to ask you again. You didn't see Cocaine Bear, huh? Over on
I have
Peacock now. Dude, so much fun. I was actually really digging that one. And of course, you know, Ray Liotta's last movie, directed by Elizabeth Banks, who I know from many sitcoms. Like you said,
Also,
Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Yeah. Very fun movie with a very horrible, miserable, grisly CGI bear.
I thought it was a black bear. I didn't think it was a grizzly.
Yeah. Oh, he's a grizzly son of a bitch. That's for sure.
and of course, like the whole thing, it's kind of based on a true story in the fact of there was a bear that did ingest cocaine that was dropped, like, I think it was in the 1980s or 90s or something.
This is as much a true story as Texas Chainsaw is a true story, because it is not at all what really happened, but
yeah,
they still get to throw that based on true events on there for you.
Yeah, it's just a bear did ingest cocaine. And what happened to that bear? It died.
His heart exploded. Yeah. Yeah, no, this one, he just keeps on. Every time you see him, he's got, I think, more powder on his snout. And you're like, fuck. There's an amazing moment, and it's not in the trailer, or it's in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, where there's a severed leg that's covered in coke, and the bear just snorts it right off the leg. Oh, yeah. That's the kind of fun. It's very fun.
Oh, nice.
But yeah,
nice.
The mom from The Millers, that sitcom with Will Arnett, was in it. What was his name on Modern Family? The Tyler Ferguson? Mitch, right? Mitch is in it with this crazy wig doing a crazy southern accent, which is fun.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, and Carrie Russell. She's been in a few sitcoms. Actually, one with Will Arnett that also failed. So that was...
And Carrie Russell, that is she of Felicity fame, right?
Yep.
That people went apeshit when she changed her hair or whatever. It's like back in the day.
I think the Will Arnett sitcom she was on, I want to say it was called like Running Wild or something like that. But
I was going to say, as you brought up, Will Arnett doesn't have a good track record with sitcoms.
Apparently he's on a couple shows now that look like a reality show, like a Lego reality show he's on or something. But
oh, yes, that's right.
We'll get to a few
Lego
of his
Masters.
failures, I'm sure. And hopefully some of his long-lasting ones, or should have been long-lasting, like Arrested Development.
Right.
I think they ended up getting a 4th and 5th season at some point, didn't they, later?
Yeah, I think that was on Netflix, yeah.
Wasn't that one of their first, like, shows they bought, kind of? And
I think so. Like, they kind of resurrected...
But yeah, I'm excited to see what you think about the show we're going to talk about today, and that is Speechless. Well, what did you know about this show before I brought it up?
Before you had brought it up, I just knew, like, the main protagonist, the main character was a disabled youth that doesn't speak.
Nonverbal cerebral palsy.
Right. Of which, yeah, like, hey, behind the curtain, the actor that actually plays JJ in this show, Micah Fowler, actually can speak.
Yeah, he can.
He does have cerebral palsy.
I saw an interview and I was shocked. I was like, oh, he can speak. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a pretty groundbreaking thing, even at this point, to have a sitcom, the main character, the title character, basically, be disabled and nonverbal.
True. From what I read from Micah, is the fact of that it was hard at times on set because he wanted to speak and react to certain things, and really all he's allowed to do is basically you're looking at facial, like faces he's making,
kind of like a Silent Bob.
Really?
Yeah, we're Kevin Smith fans again. He's got real Silent Bob going on. But he's really great. He's really animated.
Yes,
which is very fun.
I gotta say that this was another, I think, well cast show.
Oh, so good. Well, and you got to throw the creator up there too, because was it Greg Silveri?
Scott Silveri. Yeah, it's Scott Silveri.
He said that he
doesn't have the greatest track record.
Oh, really? I didn't look at his past shows. But he said that ever since he got in the business, he wanted to tell this story. This is based on his family. He's the Ray of the show.
Ah, got it.
His older brother was the one who had cerebral palsy and was nonverbal.
Well, apparently, the creator of the show, Scott Silveri, I don't know what his role was in 1992 on Mad About You. Who knows? Might have been a PA or something. He did have his success was he actually was a writer, story editor, producer, executive producer on Friends.
Oh, yeah.
After that, he was the creator co-creator of Joey.
Oh, well, you can't blame him for that. NBC handed him a check and said, please, sir.
Yeah. Then another short-lived one, Perfect Couples.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, and then another, going back to his Friends roots there, Matthew Perry in Go On, about a
that wasn't a very good one.
Yeah.
Again, Matthew Perry has a lot of failed sitcoms.
Yes, but
one of my favorite things is unpurchased pilots. Like these garbage shows that made one episode and never happened.
Well, there's a podcast I have yet to listen to it, but the premise sounds great because it's sort of that. They take these. It's called the Dead Pilot Society.
Oh, I like it. I'll listen to that. Because we talked about doing an episode on the Clerks pilot.
Yes.
So that would be kind of along those lines, I guess. Right.
Yeah. And again, we're both Kevin Smith fans and big Clerks fans, and don't avoid.
If you like the movie Clerks, don't watch the show. The live action. You can watch the animated one, just not the live.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The animated one. Yeah. And we will definitely get to that one at some point.
Looking over the writers and talking about what's happening last episode, what was one of the things we brought up? I was like, wow, it doesn't really seem like anyone was there to kind of cradle this show. It was just all these different writers, and it didn't seem like the creators had any writing credits. It just like, what the fuck's going on here? Whereas this Scott Silveri, he wrote a bunch of episodes. It's based on his life, and he's the creator showrunner for this. So
correct.
You see the difference between kind of what felt pretty jumbled and off last week to this that feels like a cohesive, like true to life telling of it's pouring out of his heart, which you can really feel throughout this series.
And speaking of pouring out of his heart, Ray Romano, hope you're okay.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, you gave me the news before we went live that it's like, oh yeah, he had some kind of heart attack or something.
Read part of the article, but it sounded like at some point he had a heart stint and a big scare. I think it was a widowmaker.
Oh boy.
And survived. So, but again, I don't know how recent it was.
Wow. Well, but why don't we get into the premise of the show? Speechless. Again, we know our main character is a teenager with cerebral palsy that cannot speak. His family, I think, as I said, well casted. The mom Maya DeMeo is played by the great Minnie Driver.
Minnie Driver. And she apparently, in the interview I saw, said she wanted to be American on this show, and they turned her down. And I guess that they decided there was just something much more
authentic, I think.
You can get away with more things with the accent, they thought.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And she is, as a character on this show, she is basically, like, unstoppable. Just... nothing will get in her way.
What a great introduction to her character when the very first scene she's like speeding down the road and the police put up the gun and the other officer just puts it down and he goes, not her. Life's too short, not her. And we get into the parking lot. Pulls into the parking lot. And this old lady's like, yeah, you took my space. You don't look handicapped. And all of a sudden the back comes down with the wheelchair. And
yep, with the ramp.
Oh, that great moment where Micah puts up, he can't move his fingers. So he's trying to flip the bird, but he just holds his hand up. And the mom goes, it's the finger. It's a work in progress. Yes. What a brilliant opening. And you instantly know her character.
Yeah.
That mom, that mother of a special needs child who will fight you to the death for her son.
Tooth and nail to take care of her family.
Such a brilliant intro.
Now, the dad in this show, played by John Ross Bowie, do you know, did you have any experience with him on other shows?
No, but I think he's brilliant here.
Oh, yeah, he's great here. And again, he is really sort of the yang to the yin of Maya. He plays Jimmy DeMeo. And he's more calm, I guess. Well, everyone's calm in comparison to her. But yeah, I know I had seen him in other stuff prior, but the first thing that I remembered him as a recurring character is The Big Bang Theory. He was on that for many years.
Okay, that would almost make me want to watch that show because this guy is so good.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is listening to him because his character in The Big Bang Theory has basically the Elmer Fudd syndrome.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's weird hearing him talk normally.
Without the lisp, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. This guy is so funny. And again, so well written. This show is very quippy, as you'll say, very fast and quippy.
Very
It feels
much so.
to me like a 30 Rock kind of, that quip.
Yep.
I mentioned how I love how the show, it never coddles you about the disability. It's really open and honest and funny about it. But he has some line really early on where he's talking to, I think it was Cedric Yarborough.
Yeah.
He says something like, man, having a disability is really expensive. It's almost not worth it. And a line like that just sums up this show so brilliantly.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember what episode, because I saw that episode.
Yeah. Oh, just what a brilliant line that completely sums up the humor and the brilliance of the way they handle this on this show.
Oh, yeah.
I offhandedly said last episode when introducing this show that it felt like Malcolm in the Middle if Malcolm had cerebral palsy. That Zach kid who also has cerebral palsy, I guess he's a YouTube star. He's in this show.
Yes.
What was it, Zach what?
Anna? Anner. Zach Anner.
He said, I saw an interview today where he said the exact same thing. He goes, it's like Malcolm in the Middle if Malcolm wasn't in the middle, but he was in a wheelchair instead. I was like, oh shit. I didn't even know you said that, bro. That's awesome.
Let's get into the other siblings of JJ. Again, Micah Fowler plays JJ DeMeo.
Yeah.
And by the way, Micah from what is it? Barnegat Township, New Jersey. Gotta give the Jersey love.
And California love. New Jersey love.
Okay. His sister is Dylan DeMeo, played by Kyla Kennedy. Now,
she's great.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's the like
The
as far
tomboy.
as tomboy, athletically overachieving. Can't be stopped on the track. Except if someone tells her, it's like, why are you running? And are you just running because your brother can't? It's like,
yeah, that was in the pilot, I think, right? She goes, "Is that why I run?" To like,
no, I think it was a couple of episodes in.
yeah.
Where Kenneth actually, I think, mentioned it. But I didn't realize I had known her from another show, which I'm guessing being that you're.
Was it Walking Dead? Was she on that?
Yes, she was on The Walking Dead. She played Micah, the two sisters, Lizzie and Micah, where. Again, spoiler alert, it's several years ago, but here, spoiler alert, yeah, the sister Lizzie has something a little loose in there and decides to kill Micah because she wants to see her reanimated as a zombie.
I think I am on record, maybe even on this podcast, saying that is the greatest episode of The Walking Dead that I saw, and all of the ones.
That was an incredible
it was just,
episode.
Was it Tyrone and Carol pretty much the whole time,
Yes.
and the two girls?
Yep.
Oh my god! I didn't get to the. Well, God, what's that? What's the one with the bat? Negan. I never got to Negan.
Oh, okay, Negan. And
I gave up
episodes.
kind of.
Yeah.
I think right before he showed up somewhere in there. So, but of
Okay.
all the ones I saw, that episode is brilliant, and it's a great little standalone. Oh, so good! Carol in that episode. Oh my god!
Yeah, fantastic. And then the other brother, Ray DeMeo, played by Mason Cook.
And as I said, this is the one that basically the creator of the show in his real family. This is him.
Yep.
Yeah. Which kind of, he could have called him Scott, made it a little more obvious, but he chose not to.
Yeah. Yeah, he's sort of like the skinny, nerdy, awkward around the girls type kid.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
then,
this kid's pretty damn funny, too.
Oh, yeah, he is funny. Although, I gotta say, once you hit, like, second season of that, it's like, oh my god, how many inches did you grow?
Yeah, that's the problem when you got, like, an 11-year-old boy and all of a sudden, bloop, bloop.
Yeah.
Well, bloop that way and bloop that way.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, by the time, like, the series is over, it's like, oh my god, like, how tall are you, kid?
I remember that with the kid on the Goldbergs, too, when we get to that show.
And, as you brought up, the great Cedric Yarborough as Kenneth
from
Clemens.
one of my other favorite TV shows of all time, Reno 911.
Oh yeah, he was in the movie.
He's in the show and the movie.
The show and the movie.
I think he's in every version of the show. They came back on Quibi, and I think it's coming back on Paramount again.
Yeah, he was Deputy Jones.
Yeah, so fucking funny, dude. Oh man!
Oh my god,
that is such a brilliant show. If you've never seen Reno 911, you gotta watch it.
And in that first episode, we get introduced to Kenneth.
He's the only ramp for the wheelchair access is the garbage ramp in the back of the school.
Yep, he had just planted the flowers, and she ran over him with the van.
She's like, you expect my son to go on the same ramp as garbage? Does he look like garbage, or does he look like a human being? And he's like, he looks like a human being.
And then she starts taking out the pieces of garbage.
Yeah.
What is this? Garbage or a human being? This garbage or a human being?
Oh man, so funny. The principal on this show cracks me up too. How terrified she is of the mother.
Oh my god, yes. Maren Hinkle is the actress. She's so timid in the face of Maya. It's like she's like ready. It's like, okay, whatever you say you want me to do.
The gym teacher, and I think he was also like the track coach or something. You know who that guy was?
Oh no, I didn't.
The Indian guy, Jay Chandalasekar, I think is how you say his name. He's the guy from Broken Lizard, like Super Troopers and Club Dread.
Oh shit! Okay, I didn't realize
he's directed a bunch of those. I think he directs most of those movies actually, but he directs a lot of TV as well. Yeah. So it was really cool to see him as a semi-regular on here. I don't think he was in a lot of episodes, but whenever they had gym class, it was usually him. I love everybody on the show, man. The guest star, the teachers, everyone was so funny.
They moved to a new town because there's this great progressive school where JJ will get an aide, and and it's again, very progressive, very inclusive for JJ. And what's one of the first things he goes into his one class, and the teacher's okay, everyone starts clapping. It's like, come on, stand up. It's like, oh no, I'm sorry, no, sit down, sit down. Oh no.
That woman who was his first appointed aide, I recognized her and I didn't know why. She looked so familiar, that squeaky voiced blonde woman.
Some good guest stars. I didn't see the episode with him, but hell, John Cleese.
Those were the London ones. I told you to watch the London ones.
I didn't get to watch it yet.
He plays Maya's father.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking funny, dude. I think it's the first 2 of season 3 where they go to London.
Okay.
And they're on a tour bus, and you have John Cleese just screaming out the window at this London tour bus, quoting the own tour back to him. I hear this shit 15 times a day! And he's screaming out he's beat red. He's screaming so much. And every time the tour guide starts again, he starts doing the screaming.
I love John Cleese.
Oh, he's so good.
Are you a Python fan, or?
Yes, I have not watched them very recently though, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Great stuff, and of course, some of the great
Holy
movies
Grail.
he's been in. Again, one of my favorites, Fish Called Wanda.
Oh yeah, even more than that, I love the kind of sequel to that called Fierce Creatures.
I didn't see that one.
It's the same cast playing different characters, but they're at a zoo. They're running some zoo. Oh my god, this shit's funnier than hell.
I gotta check that out.
It's called Fierce Creatures. Yeah, John Cleese. Oh my god, those were 2 of the funniest fucking ones I watched of this show. They lost the house, they're living on the lawn, and they have to basically go borrow money from her rich father in London. And he thinks she's there to, make amends, and really she's there because she needs money. But I still love you, Daddy, and he gives her the check, the ultimatum. He's like, you can have my love or you can have my money, but you can't have them both. And he goes, if you accept this check, it's a goodbye. It has goodbye in the memo. Yeah. Or you can rip it up and have my love. She's like, we really need the house. Yeah, it was good.
But yeah, back to real quick though, Cedric Yarborough.
Yeah.
He steals the show a lot of times on the show.
So good.
But and the chemistry between him and Micah are so great. Great.
Even though in the first episode they first meet, you feel like they've known each other forever.
Yeah.
And what a great gimmick. I love how they use it for the name of the episodes too. How he's nonverbal, so he uses a laser pointer to speak on this board, pointing to letters and words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah. And you think you're going to get kind of sick of someone always having to read it. Mm-hmm. But the show's edited so well that you don't even notice it anymore,
No, and you look forward to what are they?
Yeah.
What does JJ say? Because also you're
he's got to follow him out if you let him.
Expressions,
yeah.
and he's pointing his laser pointer at the things.
Yeah.
It's like what is he coming back with here?
Once in a while though, you go, damn, he spelt that word very quickly, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, by just pointing his head twice.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. But no, this show is so funny.
Yeah, I love in the Halloween episode where JJ and Kenneth they go to a party, JJ's invited to an actual Halloween party, and
he wants to get drunk.
Yeah, so he keeps making excuses. Oh, can you get my jacket? Oh no,
the
other jacket. Yeah, it's
And
like
every time Kenneth leaves the room, JJ's chugging down beers.
yeah, like they give him like with a straw, like
Yeah.
so he's
Yeah.
chugging beers with a straw.
And it's so funny when he's shit faced.
Yeah, so after a while he's spelling out. It's like KX. What you're slurring your words.
Slurring your words.
You're drunk, aren't you?
He's slurring with his laser pointer. That's so fucking good. The first Halloween episode they make for the Halloween costume, they put a DeLorean on his ass.
Yes, that is so great. and Jimmy, he like the dad, he's like, yeah, sorry, I didn't, like go as all out on this one. And all of a sudden, the doors of the DeLorean open, the smoke, and it's
the
like
steam, the lights. Yeah,
it's like okay. But amazing. Yeah, and like I said, the chemistry in the show makes you really think that these people are an actual family. The way they interact with each other, like they're so good.
I saw one interview with the dad, and he was like, all right, is this going to be like every other interview where it starts like, do you really think that you and Minnie Driver are a reasonable couple? Because he's always like, everyone just thinks she's hotter than me. He goes, that's the first question I get. Everyone's like, so you know she's hotter than you, right? You're not believable as a couple. God damn it.
What were some of your favorite episodes? Like you said, the London episodes.
The 2 London ones were absolutely brilliant. All the Halloween ones I saw were really good. I didn't see any Christmas ones. Were there any Christmas episodes?
Yes, I watched the one in the second season, SI Silent Night. That's the one where Dylan actually, she figures out a way that, they can get a dog because they can send for a service dog for JJ, even though he doesn't need one. So, it turns out she sent in the application with like tons of misspellings on it, including the word dog. But JJ winds up on the list. There's an opening and he gets a service dog.
Even the final episode was really good.
Oh, the final episode was fantastic. It's
yeah.
like, and you know what? Being that they, I guess, at that point they knew that okay, they're not getting renewed, so they wound up, wrapping up in a terrific way. Like, it's like okay, JJ he's graduated, and he's gonna go off to what you call it, to college, and it's all about that, and also it's about, if you want to say, the whole journey of all the things that have been put in that family's way.
Yeah.
The title of the episode is "UN Are Unrealistic."
Yeah.
All the things that the blocks that have been put up, how they get past.
Yeah. Don't ever tell me it's unrealistic for my boy to do anything. Basically. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that one I think also had one of the great musical numbers. There's so many funny musical numbers they do randomly on this show.
Yeah, it was.
I remember Cedric does one where he's singing through the house about how broken the fucking house is, and like he's moving the pictures and there's like holes behind every picture on the wall. Speaking of which, I absolutely love, was it episode 5 where they write on the wall the list?
Yes, her list.
And then it's there forever.
The don't say list. Yeah, it's there the whole time.
He's like, you're just going to write on the wall? He goes, Dad'll paint over it later, won't you, Dad? He's like, yeah, right. And then it's just never painted over. It's just always there.
It was called the Dead to Me list. The Dead to Me list.
All the things that he wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that was the Halloween one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Halloween one.
Because the family costume, they didn't want to do it, so she lets him do whatever he wants on the list for that one day or whatever.
Right. Oh my God.
But I love for the whole rest of the show that whole list is just on the wall, written on the wall.
Yeah. That's a great thing about this show. It's not one of those like, oh, this happened and we're gonna just completely forget it. It's like, no.
It's got weird continuity, yeah.
It has a continuity to it.
The one where he wins the award for his film that he made.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He makes JJ makes a film where he gets accepted into 2 different film festivals the same day, and they go to one and they find out that basically they knew he was special needs and that's why he's winning an award. And they're like, he's like, fuck that. He goes, I didn't want them to know that I had cerebral palsy.
Exactly.
And the mom told him, and she told both of them, but they go to the other film festival and find out that they didn't know. And in fact, they don't even have wheelchair access for him, which now she's elated about because there's no wheelchair access, they did not have any idea he was in a wheelchair. So
exactly.
they're like, oh my God, yay! So they're kind of rushing through all the back kitchens and halls and shit, trying to get to the stage. And they're excited about it because now it means something.
Yeah. You know what one of my favorite things, when the Runaway episode where JJ runs away, he goes to Kenneth's house.
Yeah.
And Kenneth has got to basically, pick him up, carry him in the house because, he doesn't have a wheelchair ramp at his house. And then it's like, oh shit, he's got these like this big staircase too. Oh shit, okay, I got to carry that and of course the wheelchair too, like that. And then he realizes once they get into the thing, there's steps going down. And so it's like, who the hell made this like non-wheelchair this whole house?
There was in that, I think it was in the London one, when they lose the house, they end up staying with Kenneth, the whole family. But it does like a quick, like how happy, fun it's going to be. And then it's like 2 weeks later and they all hate each other and shit. And Kenneth is just standing in the corner crying. And Ray's like, we got to get out of here, man. He goes, he doesn't even go into his room to cry in private anymore. We can't stay here. Well, I'm glad you like this show. What did you think about it comparing it to Raising Hope? Similar comedy style, I would say.
Similar style. And again, to me, these two are like, thank you so much for recommending these shows because these are the type of shows that you're just shocked of like, oh my God, how did I not watch this show before?
Yeah.
Like, apparently this show got great critical acclaim. A lot of people liked it, but it just didn't have the ratings. So ABC canceled.
Which, and again, I don't necessarily know if I need another season of this, but these 3 seasons, you asked me what my favorite episodes are. I don't think there was a bad one I watched. I think every single one was fucking hilarious. There's not a stinker that I noticed. Mm-hmm. And I have seen this whole show through at least once. I think I probably hopped on about midway into the first season, and I ended up buying them digital. I bought them on Vudu a while back.
Oh, okay.
So. I don't think they're on DVD.
I don't think they have them as one complete series yet. They just have the individual DVDs.
They do have DVDs of this?
Yes, they do have DVDs, but just season 1, 2, 3, rather than complete series.
If I found these on DVD, I would definitely pick it up. So you recommend it?
Oh, definitely recommend. This is definitely a show that if someone asks me, it's like, hey, what are you watching lately? It's like, hey, a great show. A friend recommended to me called Speechless.
Yeah. Then again, it sucks when you're like, I was watching this when it was kind of coming out and I was going, man, this show's so fucking good. And nobody I know is talking about it. No one I've ever mentioned it to has seen it or heard of it.
No. I just heard the name and I just knew that, that there was, a disabled youth as the main character that doesn't speak. That's all I knew.
Did you watch on Hulu?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so it's still on there. Good.
Yep.
And this one, again, we talked about in shows like Night Court, how they handle the emotion, the sentimentality. This show handles it perfectly. There's always just enough right there at the end to give you a little tug on the heart, but the whole time you're laughing your ass off.
And there is a quick tie-in with Raising Hope.
Okay.
Yeah. Mason Cook, who played Ray.
Was he on an episode?
He played 8-year-old Jimmy on Raising Hope.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not a weak member of this cast, in my opinion. I loved everybody. Can you hear that? Can you hear that fucking thunder?
Damn.
I'll say, if you hear at any point in this episode a and then we're back, hey, we're back. It's because I lost power, I'm sure. It is fucking raging out there.
Jeez.
Sounds like my bowels.
But yeah, like you said, every other character too, like the principal, the coach, like JJ's girlfriend Izzy, like played by Kayla Masonette.
She was deaf, right?
I believe so. And Sarah Chalk from Scrubs.
Yes.
As Taylor's mom.
One of Maya's rivals.
Yeah, not just on the rivals, on the Dead to Me list.
I rewatched
that was so great.
The one where they do jury duty, but it's like a vacation to them. Maya and Sarah Chalk's character. They're the only two who they love having a vacation from their family doing jury duty, so they want to make it last as long as possible. So they have to overcome their hatred for each other to keep the jury trial going.
Oh my god.
The dad sums it up well in one episode where he keeps saying, "We're idiots, not jerks."
Yeah, that was like
with the new neighbor.
The second episode, I think.
Yeah.
But it's like basically, meeting the neighbors, because also to get into that school, they have to go into an affluent neighborhood. But what
they have the shittiest house in the nicest neighborhood.
The shittiest house in the affluent neighborhood.
So yeah, he doesn't want to meet the neighbors at all. One of the neighbors approaches him and he's like, "Ah, crap." Jeez. Kind of like an Al Bundy moment. And,
exactly.
Later on, the daughter's like, "I'll show that neighbor," and she has a bunch of pizzas delivered to him he didn't order, and he goes, The dad's like, No. That's jerk move. We are not jerks. We are idiots.
We're idiots. There's a difference.
So, yeah. So good.
But thank you again for this show. I am very happy, and I will watch the London ones after this.
And like a lot of shows, if we seem to have a little bit of a younger crowd, maybe people who don't understand these shows can't really turn on a Good Times and get into it. It's a little aged for them. Mm-hmm. This show is so damn current.
Yes,
there's no reason that anybody couldn't turn this show on.
No, totally agree.
Got a nice, dark, twisted sense of humor, just the perfect amount of heart, a great message, and anything like this that takes such a funny way to get a stigma off of something like a disability.
Yep.
And you can only have a show like this from somebody who grew up in a family like this.
Yes, and I read this is one of the few shows that portrays the life of a teenager with a disability, and it's one of the few shows that also has an actual disabled actor play the character that's disabled.
Well, that's the thing is I would love a show like this to go forever just for his sake. Because I'm sure there's not going to be a million parts out there for somebody with cerebral palsy. But I hope that more things like this come about.
Yeah, and I was reading from Micah that it's like, he's always been a big, fan of movies and television. But notice the lack of characters with disabilities. What he wants is to actually be in a Marvel movie or a Star Wars movie, and it would be great to actually see him in one of those roles.
Well, are we ready to go to the list already? You got anything else you want to say about this gem?
No, just
watch it.
Yeah, watch it. It's you don't know what you're missing.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see where you are going to pop this. Where are you going to pop this zit?
Interesting. I think this one, it makes my top 10.
Wow.
It is number 10.
Nice.
It is just above one of the recent shows we watched, Good Times, which I, again, loved, classic thing. And just below News Radio.
Nice.
Which I have to, I think, resort this list a bit.
So for context, this is the 33rd show we have covered. He has it at 10. It fell on my list, again, right there next to Good Times. I have Good Times at number 7. I have Speechless at 8.
There we go.
And I have Honeymooners at 9. I know.
Wow,
Sounds blasphemous, but I absolutely love this show. I compare it to something like Raising Hope, I would say, in style, vibe, and humor.
Yes.
Which
and
I have
as you said,
that
also Malcolm in the Middle.
Right. And I have Raising Hope currently at 6. So just
There
2
we go.
above it.
Right.
Well, I knew you'd love this show. This is an easy one.
You knew it.
I think.
And I thank you for it.
Even looking at Good Times, I almost put it above Good Times, but there is something still just a little more classic and memorable.
I get it. And you know what? It's one of those, by the end of the season, I think we also have to do our resort, because it's like we're throwing these things in the list, but I think I needed another look at the list to see. It's like, certain things I think need to move up or down.
Number 8 out of 33 is pretty fucking good compared to some of the class. There are a few things under it on my list that you go, wow, really? Yes, really. I'm sorry.
No, I got you. I got you. Do you want to tell the people what where they can find us there in Podland?
Email us at sitcommyface@gmail.com. You can follow us on YouTube, Sitcom My Face. You can tweet us at Sitcom My Face. I did tweet a few things there. It's not empty anymore.
Yay!
You could follow me over on Twitch at Bidwell Fog. You are Netnick191 on
That's
Twitch.
correct.
We are on Facebook, facebook.com/sitcommyface. I think that's about it. I just wanted to do this episode. I don't need to tell you anymore on this show. Just fucking watch it.
Yeah. I think the best thing to say, this is a true hidden gem.
You will know in the first episode if you will love this show or not.
Yeah.
And you will.
Yes. Take our word.
What can they do for us, Nick?
Well, the good people out there can sitcom my face.
Yeah.